using a traditional analogue clock like this is one of the mathematical skills that some children find surprisingly tricky. Hopefully, this short video will guide you through how to begin to learn to tell the time correctly. Well, first of all, we need to know that the clock has three hands. The short hand, which reads the hours, the long hand, which reads the minutes, and the thinnest hand, this is red, and that reads the seconds. We can ignore this hand for now. Next, what do the numbers show? Well, there are 12 numbers, and that's to represent the 12 hours. Why 12 hours? There's 12 hours in the day and 12 hours in the night. A common mistake is children thinking that numbers show hours and minutes, when in fact the minutes are not shown by the numbers, they are shown by the dots and dashes. So a common error would be for the child to say that that is 2 minutes past 12. Okay, so start with o'clock to gain the understanding of hours first. So that is keeping the minutes hand, the long hand, pointing straight upwards to the 12. So at the moment, with both hands pointing upwards to the 12, it's 12 o'clock. If the hour hand moves across and the minute hand stays pointing to the 12, we've now got 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on. The only hand that's really moving is the hours hand, moving to each number, and the minutes hand is pointing at the 12 in the o'clock position.
When moving on to teach half past, quarter past and quarter to, the 4 quarters of the clock face can be related to the 4 quarters of a circle, which the children may already be familiar with. The child also needs to clearly understand that if the minute hand is anywhere on the right hand side of the clock, then it is past the hour, and if the minute is anywhere on the left hand side of the clock, then it is to the next hour. Okay, so moving on to demonstrate quarter past, half past and quarter to, I'll start with 4 o'clock as an example. If the minute hand moves to this position, then it has travelled a quarter of the way around the circle, or a quarter of the clock. So it is a quarter of the way past the hour, so quarter past 4. If the minute hand moves to this position, then it has travelled halfway around the clock, or half of the circle. So it is halfway past the hour, so half past 4. If the minute hand moves to this position, then there is only a quarter of the circle left to travel until the minute hand has been all the way around the clock. The minute hand is now in the left hand side of the clock, so it is to the next hour. The hour which comes after 4 is 5, so it is quarter to 5. Once the child understands the concept of o'clock, half past, quarter past and quarter to, using those words, introduce the minutes in more detail in 5-minute breakdowns. So using the dots above each number as 5 minutes each time. And keeping the hour hand the same, pointing to the 5. So that's 5 minutes past 5. 10 minutes past 5. 15 minutes past 5. 20 minutes past 5. 25 minutes past 5. 30 minutes past 5. So we've been using our 5 times table to count up in 5s to 30. Once we get past half past 5, we're now counting down to the next hour. So we're counting from 5 to 6 o'clock. This time we're now using our 5 times table backwards from 30. So 25 to 6. 20 minutes to 6, 15 minutes to 6, 10 minutes to 6, 5 minutes to 6, 6 o'clock. This could be related perhaps to a countdown to a rocket launch counting down in fives to the next hour. Notice that as the minute hand moves around the clock, the hour hand also moves very gradually, so the closer it gets to 6 o'clock, the closer the hour hand gets to the 6. But it's not 6 o'clock until the hour hand is directly pointing to the number 6, not just nearly there. Only when confident with telling the time to the nearest 5 minutes should you move on to learning to tell the time to the nearest 1 minute. So that's using every one of the tiny little dashes, each dash representing 1 minute. So as before, keep the hour hand the same and move the minute hand 1 minute past 6, 2 minutes past 6, 3 minutes past 6, 4 minutes past 6, 5 minutes past 6, and so on. So it's just breaking down that 5 minute breakdown into ones. After half past, it's now counting down from 30 in ones. Again, it could be related to a countdown to the next hour. So 29 minutes to 7, 28 minutes to 7, 27 minutes to 7, 26 minutes to 7, 25 minutes to 7, and so on. This will all take time, but as with anything, the more practice, the more repetition, the easier it will sink in. I hope this video helps. Now it's time for you to give it a go.